Hi, welcome back to EZMotoTim. This video is just a portion of the story of converting my road glide to a trike. There isn't time for me to put together the whole story of the trike conversion before we leave for our summer adventure. And actually, I haven't completed the build yet. The project is to convert my 2016 Road Glide Ultra to a trike using the Rumble kit from Eurowing USA. If you've seen my other videos, I installed the Eurowing USA reverse kit on my bike. I like working with the company and their kit is competitively priced. The mechanical conversion is being done at a shop in Brandon, Florida. My friend Ed did the painting of the body, and I assisted him with lots of sanding. One thing I don't like about the Rumble is the style of the taillights and turn signals. I think those old school bullet lights aren't the right style for a modern Harley. I picked out some LED replacement taillights for Harleys on Amazon. Ed and I modified the fender and fitted the base plates. As you can see, they turned out great. The Harley taillights function only as a tail and brake light. Other lights serve as turn signals. With two taillights on the trike, I needed to make them function as tail, brake, and turn signals. This is a challenge any electrical engineer would enjoy as much as I do. In this next clip, I explain what I came up with to make the lights function properly. As you probably know, the Harley taillights function as taillights and brake lights only. They don't have a turn signal function. But now that I have two of them, they also need to perform as turn signals. In order to achieve that, I purchased a trailer tail and brake light converter that is independently powered off the battery. It doesn't take power from the BCM outputs. And this converts the three inputs to two. The tail, brake, and turn signals go into it, and it has two outputs. It handles the turn signal function. So let me demonstrate. I've hooked everything up here with bits of wire and wire nuts. I won't use wire nuts on the final installation, of course. And applying power, this is just the dim function as taillights. Now, if you turn on the turn signals, they get brighter when the turn signal activates. But what happens when the brakes are on? Well, it's brighter, but we still need to have turn signal function when the brakes are on. So when the turn signal is on, it cuts out the brake light. Still looks like a turn signal, it's just working in opposite. Now I salvaged the rear fender cable, so I can just plug this into the bike, and I will hook this up and connect it to the bike and just make sure it doesn't put too much load on the BCM. I also have the trailer hitch isolating module hooked up to the BCM. I think the two of them will be just fine, but I want to check and make sure it's good. After this first tabletop test, I set up everything in the garage and connected my wife's bike. This is the test setup connected to my wife's bike. I have battery power through a fuse and a relay to the controller. The relay is activated when the ignition switch is on or in the auxiliary position. So when I turn it on, we get the tail lights. In auxiliary position, we don't get the tail lights. Now the turn signals work. But when I apply a brake, I don't get the brake lights. That's pretty strange. So I encountered this when I was setting this up before going on camera and discovered that the brake signal is not sent to the brake lights. Harley sends the left and right turn signals to the brake lights when the brakes are on. So I've disconnected the brake signal, and now when I apply the brake lights come on. And the signals and the brake behave just as expected. What this discovery reveals is that the bike's BCM handles the tail, brake, and turn signal logic. And it explains how the lights on the back of the tour pack function as tail, brake, and turn signals. So the converter isn't needed for the 3-into-2 functionality, but it is needed for the isolation. Now the hazards work, and the hazard lights work in the auxiliary position also. But when I turn the ignition off, the hazard lights don't continue blinking. They do on the stock setup. So that means I have to supply battery power to the converter without going through the relay. It needs to have battery power in off, ignition, and taillight positions. I have an idea how I'm going to mount the controller and route the wiring, but I'm not going to drill any holes until I get the bike and make sure there is no interference. That wraps up this video. Thanks for watching and supporting the channel. You can follow our summer travel blog on my website at EZMotoTim.com. If you want to support this channel, please visit the Amazon pages on my website, where I have affiliate links to products I use. Also, many thanks to those who have bought me a cup of coffee on buymeacoffee.com. In any case, I appreciate your support and all the positive comments. I'll see you in the next video.